let's all gather round. Just take a moment and listen to this sound. Forgive, forgive, forgive. Forgive, forgive, forgive. Give yourself, know that we are one. Can't say much, 'cause anger weighs a ton. Giving is receiving, and forgiveness is a gift. Let us rejoice, we all can do so. And don't forget to love. Forgive and live. And don't forget to love. Forgive and live. And don't forget to love. Forgive, forgive, forgive.
And that was the amazing Grayson Ehrenberg. It was an original song. We'll be back to grace us with more original music. One he wrote just for today. So thank you, Grayson. So from that place of not forgetting to love, let's bring our awareness to the place of all love. That infinite power and presence that exists within each of us. The divine source of all that is. I know that I am one with this source. I know that we are each unique expressions of this one divine energy. And so as we come into that awareness, we know that we are held in love, we are expressions of love, and that we get to show up as love. And so right here, right now, I affirm for each one here, each one listening, that they embrace this day of mothers and celebration of the divine feminine, as the opportunity to embrace the loving heart that we each are at our core. I know that this is the truth. I affirm this good for each and every one. And I am grateful to be in this flow, to recognize the divinity in one another, and to speak this word into that ever-present and loving law that does unto us as we believe. And as I believe in the power of love, and that we are all held in that love, I know that it is already true. And so I invite you all, as I let this go into law, to join me in saying, and so it is. Welcome everyone. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers and all the children of mothers, and to all those who act as mothers, to others, and to four-legged beings, and to all the ways that we get to show up as mothers in this world. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Morristown, a vibrant community where love, joy, and inclusivity are at the heart of everything we do. Together, we create an atmosphere of openness and love, where every person is seen, valued, and accepted just as they are. My name is Lori Carlson, and I'm a licensed practitioner here at CSLM. Thank you for joining us, whether you are here in person, watching the live stream, or checking us out at a later time. We are so happy that you are a part of this journey of shared wisdom, light, and transformation. If this is your first time here, and I think I see a first timer, right? Yeah, welcome. And we invite you to get a welcome packet, choose a free book. You get a free book from our bookshelf, and complete a new visitor form so we can include you in our constant contact. And you can be kept up to date with all of our events that are happening here. We have so many things always going on here. And to everyone else, we publish a constant contact newsletter, and if you don't already get it, please sign up. You can also visit us at our website, which is cslmarstown.org. Like I said, I'm very honored to welcome back Grayson Nierenberg as our musician. We have a long history of doing service together. Ever since I started speaking, I've been partnering with Grayson many times, and he's an amazing part of my journey here at the center. I'm really grateful to have him. So the 2026 CSL theme is open at the top, right? And the monthly theme for May is divine doubt. And my topic today is held in love, motherhood, a little doubt, and the courage to nurture life. So I'm going to be talking about that, and but first, we're going to start the way we always start, with our namaste practice, right? And namaste means, it's the Sanskrit word for, the divinity within me recognizes and honors the divinity within you. But since this is Mother's Day, I'm going to tweak it a little bit, and we're going to change it to the divine feminine within me. Even for you men out there, you all have the divine feminine. So we're going to tweak it to the divine feminine within me recognizes and honors the divine feminine within you. So I invite you to put your hands together, turn to someone, and say, divine feminine within me recognizes and honors the divine feminine within you. The divine feminine within me recognizes and honors the divine feminine within you. Namaste. Namaste, my friend. Hey, we all feel adequately divinely feminine now? Well, from then, we're going to welcome Grayson back up to sing Power of Your Love, and I believe you can sing along with it.
Yes, so this song does have a chorus that repeats, and it just says, the two lines go, I feel the power of your love that you send from up above. So when I get there, feel free to join in. Dark skies, sad eyes. to be a better man, following your ways, to clear up all this haze, make way for tomorrow, to be a better day, give me the faith to transform my fate, from a place of quiet sadness to the loving grace. Open up my eyes to reach higher heights, to break through the bounds that scare me tied down. I feel the power of your love that you send from up above. I feel the power of your love that you send from up above. I feel the power of your love that you send from up above. I feel the power of your love that you send from up above. I feel the power of your love that you send from up above. I feel the power of your love that you send from up above. Send from up above.
Right? It's just amazing. And wait for the next song. It's an original for today. So, like I said, happy Mother's Day to everyone. And you know, this monthly theme of doubt was interesting to me. I kind of incorporated a little bit of it into the talk because, you know, I doubted my own right to speak on Mother's Day. And then, you know what, somebody texted me this morning and reminded me that I spoke last year on Mother's Day too. I was like, oh, that's right. I spoke last year about boundaries, right? And about making healthy boundaries. But this year, I'm going to be talking about the sacred concept of motherhood. Now, right from the start, I want to say, you know, I'm not a mother. I'm not trying to say that I am, that I can understand, people are gesturing to me, that I can understand really what it is to be a mother. But I do have a mother. So I'm going to be talking really about the relationship of having a mother rather than of being a mother. But I do want to say that I completely honor, celebrate, recognize that the experience of being a mother, you know, like Oprah says, it's the most difficult job in the world, right? I just want to celebrate everyone who does that difficult job. And I just want to say that I'm not in any way trying to compare my experience as someone who's mothering to the experience of being a mother, because I don't have that experience. And I certainly am in awe. I celebrate, I honor, I am in awe of people who do that job and who do it well and who do it with a heart of love. So I just want to make that very clear. But you know, in AA, I learned something, and that is that we only share from our experience, strength, and hope. And so I can't speak about something that I don't have experience with. So I don't have the experience of being a mother. I'm an aunt, I'm a sister, you know, I'm a sponsor. There's lots of ways that I do mothering, but I have never been a mother. So I just want to make that very clear. Right now I'm crocheting like crazy because I have a nephew whose wife is expecting their first child. I have a niece who's expecting her fourth, God bless her. So I celebrate life. But I want to talk today about bringing it back to the origin of life, the sacred origin of life, right? Because that's what we believe in this teaching, that we come through our mothers, but we don't come from our mothers. No matter what science or genetics will say about that, I don't know, but in this teaching, we know that we are all unique expressions of spirit. So we come from the one source. We come from spirit. We come through our mothers, not from them. And you know, I know that your experience with your mother can really shape your life, right? It can really shape the experience that you have, your relationships, the perspective you bring out into the world. Khalil Gibran has this sort of paraphrase, but he says, the mother's heart is the child's first school, right? So we all learned something there. Maybe what we learned was difficult. Maybe what we learned was what we didn't get. But we all learned something there. We might have learned about being loved and safety, and we might go forth into the world trusting and expecting love. Maybe we did not get that experience. A lot of people did not have a good experience, and so they go forth in uncertainty and feeling like love is conditional, or like there's never enough, or they're not worthy. Whatever the experience, I'm not saying this for blame. I'm saying it to bring a sense of awareness. Because I know that this day is difficult for a lot of people, right? A lot of people that I know struggle either with their children or with their mothers, or with both, right? I mean, so this relationship, this very human relationship, is very complicated. There are so many levels, and like I said, I don't claim to understand them all, but I recognize with awareness that they exist. I recognize with awareness the very concept of motherhood is the concept of life coming through into form. And in the ideal sense, it's love, right? We believe in this teaching that love is all there is, that givingness of the universe is love itself. And that the mother plays that role of being the vehicle where love comes into form, ideally, right? Ideally, it's love. But I know that it's not always that case for a lot of people. I do want to remind us that that's what the spiritual journey is all about. It is about being able to reframe that story, right? It's being able to change your relationship to whatever happened to you. And I'm not like trying to lessen your experience if you had a difficult childhood. I'm not trying to say, oh, just get over it. But I am saying that that's what the spiritual journey is. The work to reframe, to let go, to forgive, to become aware of how it is affecting you. And I know that it's not easy, right? I'm not saying it's easy. It takes work. What's Lori's mantra? Daily practices. It takes a lot of work. It takes being willing and able to look at the difficult things, to look at the shadows, to see your own behaviors, those voices in your head, and recognize whether they're truly yours or whether maybe that's your mother. I know mine is like always back there, you know? So it's coming from awareness and then being willing to choose, right? That's my other favorite word. Being willing to choose something different. I know, and I have seen a lot of people who have been treated very, very badly by their mothers, who stepped up and took care of them as they grew older, right? They didn't say, oh, you weren't good to me, so, you know, the hell with you. When it came right down to it, they reframed the story and they stepped into love. I have seen mothers stand by their children through very difficult circumstances without giving up on love. I have seen mothers draw boundaries, very difficult boundaries, and step away and love from a distance because that was how they felt called to show up. I have had a friend who took her own life because she could not get over the complicated and conflicted relationship she had with her children. She could not find a way through. So there are all different ways and different experiences of motherhood, right? I think there are as many experiences as there are people because we are all unique and nobody's story is the same. I don't care where you grew up or what, you know, how similar, like I know I grew up in like a suburban neighborhood and it seemed like everybody had the same, you know, kind of pattern, but nobody's experience was the same. My sister's experience of my own mother was different from mine. My brother's experience of my own mother was different from mine. So no matter the circumstances or conditions, it always comes back to what you choose and how you are willing to step forward. It's very complicated, but it helps if we can come back to the understanding that we know in this teaching that everyone is doing the best they can with what they've got from where they are, right? You know, if you had a difficult relationship with your mother, she probably had a difficult time, right? We know that we carry forth the experiences that we've had, and it's not always possible to show up the way that others want us to if we haven't had that experience. But guess what? That's what the spiritual journey calls us to do. It calls us to break the pattern, right? Break the chain, break the cycle, and not show up as a repetition of what we experienced, but to choose our experience, to choose how we want to show up, what we want to bring forth. Because we know that we get to do that, right? We know in this teaching that we can always choose and make a different choice. I mean, I know that, you know, for my mother, feeding us was an expression of love. So I grew up, she loved to feed all my friends, she loved to feed me, and now I have an issue with food. So, you know, it's like no matter what you do, even if you're doing it with love, there's going to be people who say you did it wrong. There's going to be judgment. There's going to be, oh, I coulda, woulda, shoulda done that different or better. The idea on the spiritual journey is to accept with awareness and compassion and come out of judgment into acceptance and love, into acceptance of what is, and then choosing to not necessarily repeat it. I'm choosing not to repeat my mother. I loved my mother, and like I said, I was very blessed. I had a great childhood. She was very loving. My brother's friends used to call her Mrs. C, like Mrs. Cunningham from Happy Days, because she was always the one that would drive us and make us cookies and do all this stuff. But I didn't want to be her because I saw that in her later life, because she was always giving, without ever being able to say no, without ever being able to choose what was right for her, she ended up with a lot of resentment. And I saw that as an adult in her later years. She was so full of resentment for all she had done for people who weren't there for her. And I thought, ooh, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to become that. You know, sometimes I look in the mirror and I see parts of my face that look like my mother, and it freaks me out. I'm like, oh no, I'm turning into my mother. I don't know. Anybody else in here afraid of turning into their mother? Yeah. So, and I have shared here before that I don't like the sound of my own voice. You want to guess why? Because when I was living at their house and I would answer the phone, people would say, "Terry, that you?" And I would say, "No, it's Lori." "Oh, you sound just like her." And I'm like, "Oh, no, you know." So I'm sure that has something to do with why I don't love the sound of my own voice, because to me it sounds like my mother, and to other people apparently too. But the thing is that I get to choose. She was a very loving woman. She was a great mom. I'm not denigrating that in any way. But I get to choose not to repeat the behaviors that didn't serve. Because this is the idea. Science of Mind invites us to look at what serves us, right? And our relationship with our mother often becomes one of the deepest places where judgment and opinion get just like cemented in, right? We have so many like ideas about motherhood and our mothers and what should have been and what could have been, that sometimes we get stuck there, no matter what it looked like, whether it was wonderful or whether it was painful, right? And Science of Mind invites us to look beneath the surface story of what happened and ask ourselves, what consciousness have I built around this relationship? And is it still serving my freedom? I mean, maybe it's what actually happened, but can I let go of it enough to find something that serves me better? So I know that I'm not saying to deny harmful to deny pain or excuse harmful behavior, not at all. Science of mind doesn't tell us to do that. It just tells us to become aware and to consider something larger, that every human being was living from their own level of consciousness, their own wounds, their own fears, their own conditioning, and their own capacity to love. Not everyone's capacity to love is the same or looks the same, right? So my mother showed her love through feeding. I know other people who showed their love by ritual. You know, I mean, it depends, right? I know some people who only know how to show their love by gifts. I used to want that mother. But I'm saying that it doesn't always look the same. It doesn't always look the same. Yeah, I had a friend who, like, you know, they would be really bad to her, but then she was always with new outfits and new clothes because they were always making up for their lack of attention with gifts. And as a child, to me, that looked good, right? I mean, you know. Anyway, so we are brought into the awareness that that story we tell ourselves affects all of our relationships going forward if we don't allow it to heal. Does anybody have something they need to heal in their relationship with their mother? I mean, maybe there's some of you who have like the perfect relationship and don't feel the need to heal anything. Anybody like that? Because I was going to say, I want to know you. But most of us have something that we need to heal. And then we get to choose how we're going to do that, right? I listened to this podcast. Okay, I'm always listening to On Being. Anybody else here listen to it? Yeah. So I listened to this podcast with the Jewish scholar and writer Shai Held. I don't know how you spell that, and he said something that really stuck with me. He said, if you come from an abusive, this is a paraphrase, but this is the message. If you come from an abusive background, or you had a mother who didn't treat you right, you can go out into the world with the attitude that I don't owe the world anything. I'm not, because if you were treated the way I was treated, you wouldn't do anything for anybody either. Or from that same experience, you can go forth and say, oh my God, I want to mother every neglected child because I was so neglected. So the same thing can come from the same situation, both those options, because you can either choose to live from what was missing in your life and create your identity around all that happened to you. Oh, poor me, this happened to me, and so I'm going to be forever broken. Or you can become what was missing and bring that forth into the world. You can choose to heal whatever it is in you that needs to be healed, and to forgive whoever you think is responsible for it. Because we know in this teaching, we are all responsible for ourselves, right? Change your thinking, change your life. You have the power. But as long as you give it away to your past, as long as you give it away to someone else, and to what they did to you or said to you, you are not going to be able to make that difference. You are not going to bring to the world the love that you are capable of bringing. Because what do we believe in this teaching? We are all love, right? We are all capable of bringing so much love. You have to be in connection. You have to be aligned with that to do it. Ernest Holmes says, life is ever giving of itself. We must receive, utilize, and extend the gifts. Wow, right? We must receive, utilize, important point, do the work, and extend the gift. So that's what we get to do, right? That's the ideal divine motherhood, that extending the gift of life. And that takes, like I said, to be able to do that, it takes all that work. Whether it's forgiveness work, shadow work, journaling, classes, workshops, whatever it takes for you, it takes awareness and willingness to do it, to show up in the difficult moments, to not hide from all that needs to be healed, but to give freely because life is given to us. To give without condition, right? Unconditional love. Sounds so lovely. Look, I don't know that many people that actually give unconditionally, because when we really go beneath the layers, there's a little condition there, right? I mean, my mother was, like I said, she loved me very much, and she stood by me through all my many years of alcoholism and addiction. But guess what? That also enabled me. Because she was unable to make a clear boundary, it kept me stuck in my problems for a long time. I mean, it helped. I'm not blaming her. But I'm just saying there's an awareness around, oh, all of that, there's a condition. There's always layers. In this teaching and in our spiritual journey, we learn to peel the onion, as we like to say, right? We learn to go beneath the surface layer and see what is beneath us. And what is beneath it always is spirit. What is always, what we know in this teaching, is that we are never separate. We are always connected. That is life itself. And we get to remember that, and we get to extend that gift when we come from a loving heart. Mark Nepo, I love Mark Nepo, he wrote, "We are asked to let go of what we didn't receive and to grow by giving it." Like, wow, right? Like, wow. How can you let go of what you didn't receive and still grow by giving it? It's like the whole spiritual, that's like our whole teaching in one sentence, I feel like, because we, instead of focusing on all that we didn't receive, we simply give more. We turn into, like Shahel says, we come not from what we are missing, but we give what we were missing. We inspire ourselves to do better. And we have to do that, we have to look at our own fears, our own doubts, our own resentments with acceptance, forgiveness, and grace. Oh my goodness. We need to give ourselves some grace, as well as our children and our mothers, both in both directions, but ourselves first. Because what is it we always say? You can't give what you don't have, right? And so if you didn't come from a loving background, how can you give love? Well, guess what? You can. You can be that mothering influence in your own life. You can mother your own inner child. You can show up for yourself. The divine feminine exists within all of us. Mark Nepo also says, to be alive is to be held in an unseen fabric of care. I just love that. That's what we believe, right? That spirit, we are all always held in spirit. But I know how difficult that is to remember. I know that with all that's happening in our lives, with all the circumstances and conditions we deal with, can often be difficult to remember that we are always held in the loving arms of spirit. And that's what we want, right? We all want to be held like that by the Divine Mother, right? Isn't that what we want? Isn't that where safety lies? Isn't that what we think of as, for me, that's like heaven, right? We in this teaching believe that heaven is a state of mind. And to me, it kind of feels like that. So we get to show up that way and bring that forth. So just a little bit about the divine feminine, right? The divine feminine is that womb, that place of creativity, that place of nurturing. It has been throughout all of history. I have a whole little thing here about the history of the divine, but I'm just going to refer to Mary from the Bible, since we are an applied Christian teaching, right? And she represents in metaphysical teaching the receptive consciousness, right? Which is what we call the medium, right? The soil, when we do the seed, soil, plant of science of mind. She is the womb of awareness that simply says yes to the divine idea, right? Isn't that what Mary said? Mary just said yes. Isn't that the story that we've been told? Right? But that's what it represents. It represents our willingness to say yes. She doesn't force creation, the divine feminine, when I say she, doesn't force creation, she allows it to move through her, right? This is the essence, not controlling, but nurturing. Not domination, but a willingness. And not certainty, but an embracing of what's possible, right? I mean, those of you who are mothers know nothing's certain, right? But everything is possible. And that's where we want to come back to. And that's, I think, in this teaching we know, and I think in the whole world, that that's what is needed so much in the world right now, right? I mean, for me, I think that the world is hungry for just exactly this. For more nurturing, for more presence, for more listening, for more creative possibility, rather than domination, rather than control. We are hungry for a world that feels like we are held in the arms of the divine. But guess what? That world will not arrive on its own. Look around you, right? It is something we create through how we show up, through how we treat one another, through what we think of ourselves, through how we hold ourselves, through the compassion and grace that we give each other and ourselves. Because in the real truth of it, mothering is not about gender, it's not about male or female, it is a consciousness. And the invitation is for each of us to lean in, to let go of any doubt that you're capable of it, and to become that which you wish you had, or that which you love that you had. To become that caring, nurturing presence in the world, and to bring that forth. And like I said, I'm not a mother, but I have a lot of people that call me. I have a sponsor who calls me her spiritual mom. I have somebody else who calls me her earth mom. Because I bring that care, that presence, that listening. I try, anyway. I do the best I can. And it's about allowing another person to feel seen and appreciated and heard, and still allowing them the space to grow and to have their own journey, right? Because we recognize, or we try to recognize, that as mothers or mothering, that we do not control another's journey. We may influence it. I love this quote by Khalil Gibran from the Prophet. A lot of you may know it. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. I mean, right? Leave it to Khalil Gibran, but that is exactly the truth. That's what we believe. And we can encourage and nurture and support their journey, everyone else's journey. We all get to do that. We can be there as that support, but we don't get to dictate anyone else's journey. Children are not. And I love this. Ernest Holmes says, the greatest gift life could have made to you is yourself. Because and the Buddha says, no, and on this, I'm remembering this, but don't have it written down, that nobody is more deserving of your own loving kindness than yourself. Because that is where it all starts, right? No matter what your experience of your mother, no matter what your gifts mothering others, it all starts with how we treat ourselves. And we get to be that expression of life. Let's remember that life itself is the gift. And we have it, right? Not everyone gets to live in this beautiful community that we have. And so I'm going to put forth the idea that this community become like a mothership, right? So for anybody who's struggling with their mothers or struggling in their experience of being a mother, what if this community was a place that we could come and share our doubts, our fears, shame, if that's up, if that's relevant for you, that we can bring our questions, and that we can just be, and be seen, and be appreciated and known and nurtured and cared for and supported. Well, that's how I feel when I'm here. So I would like to present that to all of you, that we get to be that today. We can come here and speak to each other and say, I don't know if I believe what she's talking about. I don't know if I understood that lesson. I don't know if I believe this. I don't know if I'm doing this right. I don't know what to do next. And this is a safe place to express those doubts, to share that support, to understand that we are all just doing the best we can from where we are with what we have. And we get to do that today. So, I'm going to read you one more little poem, because I can't help myself. And it's from Hafez, and a lot of you probably know it. Even after all this time, the sun never says to the earth, "You owe me." Look what happens with a love like that. It lights the whole sky. So that is the love that we are talking about here today. The love of the divine feminine, the love of a mother, the love that is spirit, freely giving, constantly shining, right? So today we celebrate mothers, the ones who gave us everything, the ones who didn't, the ones who weren't able to, the ones who did the best they could, the ones we've lost, the ones we wish we could lose. All the winners of mothers. We celebrate the beauty, the complexity, and the humanity of motherhood, of mothers everywhere. We also honor something deeper. We honor the mothering presence within each of us, our connection to the divine feminine, our capacity to nurture, to love, to hold space. And we ask ourselves, are we willing to look at our own story so that we can show up as greater expressions of love? Are we willing to let go of whatever stands in the way of our greater freedom? And then we choose. And we choose to move forward with love. And in that choice, all is possible. All right, we're going to have Grayson come back with his beautiful original song that he wrote specifically for today. Thank you, Grayson.
Wow, thank you, Lori. Beautiful. So I tried to encompass the idea of what Lori was talking about, being the child of a mother, but also having the divine feminine within and feeling it flow through us. So this is called Her Mother.
Try my best to live like it. You hold on me tight, don't let me leave. take things out on you. Just know I care and that you are loved too. Just 'cause I don't say it enough doesn't mean it isn't true. I know you know what's best. I remember I am blessed to have your help and guidance, to grow with you in silence from the seed that you planted. Your loving hands, it makes me feel so loved when I feel you beside me. I feel you guide me through any drought or flood. My roots are strong since you took care of me. You helped me grow. Now I'm being tall and breathe. See that you planted with your loving hands. It makes me feel so loved when I feel you beside me. Feel you guide me through any drought or flood.
My eyes. Thank you, Grace. It's so beautiful. Whew. Okay. Well, since my talk went on so long, we're going to do a very short meditation practice. I would like to invite you to spend a few moments with me thinking about what you want to bring forth. So I invite you to close your eyes right now. Just sort of breathe into that beautiful feeling of that song. Just take a breath and bring to mind one thing, large or small, that was given to you through mothering energy. Maybe it came from your mother or your grandmother, a teacher, a friend, a sponsor, a neighbor. Maybe someone believed in you, protected you, fed you, listened to you, made you laugh, held your hand, gave you a hug. Just one thing. And if that feels difficult, then just simply acknowledge the gift of life itself, the gift of breath moving through you. Let yourself sit in this memory, taking a breath in and really coming into that place, feeling that thing. You got it? You all feeling the essence of what you've been given? Now gently ask yourself, what quality do I want to give forward? Remembering that gift of what was given to you, what do you want to bring forward? Is it patience, listening, encouragement, safety, compassion? What is it? What is it you want to bring forward that was inspired by what was given to you? Just take a breath and really feel that quality in your heart. And now, I'm going to ask you to open your eyes and turn to someone next to you and say, one thing I've received is, and one thing I want to give forward is. So, one thing I've received is the gift of awareness. And one thing I want to give forward is acceptance of everyone else where they are. So just listen to one another, no fixing, no advice, no suggestion, just witnessing. Everybody shared? Okay, so now I invite you all to put your arms around yourselves and say together with me, or after me, may we become a world where everyone is held in the arms of the divine feminine. And so it is. All right, so let's see, we have we have time for our conscious giving. So from that place of mothering, from that place of nurturing, this is your time to nurture our center. Financially, you can give in the basket I've passed. You can give using the Venmo or PayPal code. You can go to our website and hit the donate button, which is my favorite way. You can text to give. There are lots of ways to give. You can give by signing up for a social hour. You can give by attending our events. You can give by bringing your friends and family to our center to grow our community. There are many ways. But we are going to now acknowledge the financial gifts of everyone, and so I invite you to repeat this affirmation after me. I give my gift from a heart of love. It goes forth to prosper and bless and returns to me multiplied abundantly with love and joy. And so it is. All right, so we have some announcements. Let me see. So today, right after social hour, you can join us for an outing to the Freudlinghausen. Always struggle over it. The Freudlinghausen, I think I did it good, right? Freudlinghausen Arboretum. It's a fabulous place. I've been there many times, and it's right nearby in Morristown. So join us and go look at the beautiful flowers. It's a gorgeous day out there. So we have this marketing action for May is to go on Google Review and leave a review for our center. The instructions are in the back of the sanctuary. So it says, let's get the word out about how awesome our community is. All right. So we have a new meditation series on Wednesday mornings, facilitated by Jean Lee on Zoom at 9:30. I was there at the first one, and I encourage you all to log in. Jean is a wonderful facilitator of meditation. It's a half an hour. You can just simply log in and meditate with Jean. I'll be there. I invite you all to join me. We are having a table at Brookfest, which is a festival of music, arts, and crafts happening right across the street on May 30th. So we are collecting donations of books. There's a bin in the hallway. I just put a bunch of books in it. So if you have used books, please donate them, and we will put them out on a table to try to encourage people to come visit our table and get to know us. So we also have CSLM discussion groups, which are now happening. Reverend Janice did the first one, Gail Belluardo did the second one, and the next one will be May 31st, facilitated by me, and then we'll see what happens after that. So it's after service at 1:15 after social hour. On Sunday, June 7th, our wonderful Kat Roman who I know is watching online, will be doing another sound journey with Yoga Nidra. It's from 1:15 to 2:30. Please sign up on Breeze. If you have not ever experienced a sound journey with Kat Roman, OMG, you are missing like one of the most amazing experiences. So please sign up. Unfortunately, I will not be here because I will be at my niece's baby shower. But if I wasn't going to be there celebrating life and motherhood, I would definitely be at Kat's Sound Journey. We have Science of Mind magazines in the back. They are for May and June. They are $11.95. And my magazine offer is still good. If you get a Science of Mind magazine and you don't get any benefit from it, I will refund you your money personally, because it is a big part of my spiritual practice. I have it right next to my bed, and it's one of the first things before I do my affirmation. I read the Science of Mind magazine, usually, sometimes after. But anyway, so those are our announcements, and now I will do a closing treatment, and then Grayson will come back up and grace us. I love saying Grayson will grace us with yet another song. So, for our newcomers, a spiritual mind treatment is our word for affirmative prayer, which means that we are not beseeching a God outside of ourselves, but we are affirming our good and speaking from that place of inner divinity and oneness with all that is. So, I invite you all to close your eyes and to hear these words as if they were your own, because in the one mind, they are. So right here, right now, I acknowledge the divine feminine energy of love, the feminine aspect of spirit, the oneness, the wholeness, the creative givingness of life that exists everywhere in everyone all the time, even when it is difficult to see. We acknowledge this truth, and we acknowledge our alignment with it. And so I know it flows in as and through my very being. And as I know this is true for me, I know that that is true for each one here, each one listening, each one watching at a later time. We are all unique expressions of this one loving presence, and we get to be aware and to choose to connect with that inner divinity and to come from that place of the divine feminine, to bring forth a nurturing and a caring and a loving presence into the world, to show up as that mothering energy within each. I know that we are here to heal whatever needs to be healed and to let go of whatever needs to be let go of, so that we can move into greater freedom, and in that freedom bring greater love to the world and hold those around us in that loving presence and bring that forth in all we do. And I am grateful to know this. I am grateful to be in this flow and to affirm this for each one here. I am grateful for this teaching, for this awareness, and for the opportunity to choose today how I see my story, how I show up in the world, and how I choose to be love. I am grateful for all of you and for the opportunity to be here to speak with you this morning. And so from this place of deep gratitude, with love and grace and compassion and joy and freedom, I release this word into law, that ever-present and loving law that does unto us as we believe. And as I believe in all that I have spoken here today, I know that it is already true. And so I simply let it go. I let it be. And together as a community, we say, and so it is. And now, we will have another closing song from Grayson.
upbeat one to send us off. It's called Everything I Need to Know. Woke up this morning to a sunny day. Look up at the skies and they're no longer gray. When I went to school, I didn't learn too much, but everything I need to know is going down from the sun. Everything I need to know is going down from above. Everything I need to know is coming down from the sun. Yesterday's history, tomorrow is a mystery. All we've got is today, so why not celebrating? Laughing with some friends and maybe writing a song with your new pen. Whatever it is that brings you joy, just know it's all given to you, for you, to you, for you. Everything I need to know is coming down from above. Everything I need to know is shining down from the sun. Every day is a daytime, as cold is what I need. Maybe Coronas with a little lime, but we'll save that for the night time. All I wanted was to be free, now that's all that I can be. Every day is a good day, life's a beautiful bouquet of your favorite flower. Just gotta take back all the time. Everything I need to know is coming down from above. Everything I need to know is coming down from the sun. Everything I need to know is everything I need to know is everything I need to know is coming down from the sun.
So thank you again to the beautiful music from Grayson. Thank you everyone for being here. We have a potluck social hour, so please join us. Join us at the Frelinghausen Arboretum after, if you are able. And next week, it's me again. This month of May. This month of May, two weeks in a row, and we have music with Reverend Rich Volk. So please come back next week and join us again. And I am always available for Treatment Express right after for anyone who would like treatment. Oh, God, that's